The incredible physical beauty of this Himalayan region is staggering, immediately dwarfing anything on the human scale and making one wonder how man could ever have blown his importance so out of proportion. There is a rhythmic, pulsating, and sensual quality to this ancient landscape and culture that, in spite of its incredible harshness, can still present a sweet tenderness and vulnerability if only one scratches the surface. The village of Charikarka and the Sherpa people who inhabit it are no exception to this. A week's walk northeast of Nepal's capital, Kathmandu, Charikarka lies in the shadow of some of the most stunning Himalayan peaks. At almost 10,000 feet, the village enjoys panoramic views of the arid mountains and lush valleys. Just over 50 kilometers to the north is Chomolungma, or Mother Goddess of the World, known to most as Mount Everest. I first visited Nepal 15 years ago with my husband and 2 teenage sons as we backpacked around the world for a year. From the wonderful friendships that were formed during our extended stay, we were extremely fortunate to be invited into the Sherpa culture, living and experiencing the daily rhythms of life rather than just walking across an amazing landscape with our noses pressed up against a window and just observing life going on around us. The Sherpas are actually a tribe of people who migrated from Kham in eastern Tibet over 600 years ago, crossing over the high Himalayas into the mountain valleys of the Khumbu or Everest region. The word Sherpa or Sharpa means people of the East. They brought with them many ancient Tibetan traditions in literature, history, philosophy, and a dialect of the Tibetan language that evolved into their own strictly oral Sherpa language. Over the centuries, as more people settled in the Khumbu, traditions started that helped to unite the villages. Since the 1950s and Sir Edmund Hillary's famous ascent of Mount Everest, many Sherpas have devoted their livelihoods to tourism and trekking, especially with organized climbing expeditions. However, in many remote regions of the country, many Sherpas find themselves cut off and lacking the traditional skills that once offered self-sufficiency. In planning and designing the Sherpa Cultural Program with community leaders, we are committed to creating an atmosphere where Sherpa heritage is known and valued, where the environment is honored, and where teachers understand that each student has a vast and unique potential. The program will nurture a spirit of self-confidence, social responsibility, environmental awareness, and cultural pride. Every year, I visit Nepal for 2 to 3 months, investing my time and energy on the Himalayan Project. About 10 years ago, I started a dialogue with the headmaster in the village of Charikarka, focusing on the needs of his school and the surrounding community. Those basic and essential needs, shelter, education, and the preservation of a culture clinging to existence, have become the primary work of the Himalayan Project. The Himalayan Project has helped to raise critical support for the expansion of the only secondary school in the Everest region, originally founded by Sir Edmund Hillary 60 years ago and meant to service 30 village children. Now, over 400 students arrive daily to attend school, some trekking 3 to 4 hours each way to school. The Himalayan Project has so far raised funds to add grades 11 and 12 to the school program, build and outfit additional classrooms, hire trained teachers from the Kathmandu Valley who leave their families for the school year, fund a school library with Nepali, Tibetan, and English books, renovate a school cafeteria and kitchen for boarding students, build a school greenhouse for year-round vegetables, construct a school auditorium for the student body to gather together in during many months of the year when the inclement weather reigns, snows in the winter, and monsoon rains in the summer, and institute a scholarship program for those students whose parents cannot afford the $10 to $12 per month that it costs to send your child to school. Education in Nepal is not a birthright. The people of Charikarka are clinging to a culture that has been forgotten and bypassed because of tremendous political upheaval, government neglect, and unconstrained tourism. The Sherpa community has a very rich story to tell and is an important part of the individual fabric that makes up the wonderful diversity in the world. The Sherpa culture has the key to many jewels of wisdom and ritual, and ultimately, with the building of the Sherpa Cultural Center, your collective support will help ensure the survival of these traditions for generations to come. Thank you so much for your support and interest in this project.